Hook. Imagine a world where the greatest sporting event on Earth almost didn't happen, where teams traveled by boat for weeks, and the trophy itself was once stolen. The FIFA World Cup, a tournament we now see as an unshakable global spectacle, began with a chaotic, almost unbelievable premise. But that was just the beginning. From impossible comebacks to moments of sheer, unadulterated genius, this competition has delivered drama that defies belief. In one unforgettable final, a single player pulled off a hat trick, only to still lose in the most dramatic penalty shootout ever witnessed. Stay until the end because case number 13 will give you chills. Intro context. The year was 1930. The world was still reeling from the Great Depression, and international travel was a luxury few could afford. Yet one man, Jules Rimet, had a vision, a global football tournament that would unite nations. Against all odds, the first FIFA World Cup kicked off in Uruguay, marking the birth of a legend. What started as a modest competition between 13 nations has exploded into the planet's most watched sporting event, a quadrennial carnival of passion, skill, and raw emotion. But beyond the glitz and glamour lies a tapestry of untold stories, bizarre incidents, and moments so shocking they've been etched into history forever. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the World Cup isn't just a game, but a mirror reflecting humanity's highest aspirations and deepest heartbreaks. The birth of a dream, 1930. The inaugural World Cup in 1930 was an experiment fraught with challenges. European nations, daunted by the two-week transatlantic sea voyage, were reluctant to participate. Only four accepted the invitation: Belgium, France, Romania, and Yugoslavia. The host nation, Uruguay, a two-time Olympic gold medalist in football, even offered to cover travel costs for some teams. The final, a heated affair between Uruguay and Argentina, was so intense that the referee demanded a guarantee of safety before he would officiate. With a crowd of nearly 90,000 packing the Estadio Centenario, Uruguay triumphed 4-2, becoming the first-ever World Cup champions on home soil. It was a chaotic, yet magical beginning, laying the foundation for a tournament that would one day overshadow the Olympics in global appeal. The dream had been planted, and despite its rocky start, it was destined to grow into something extraordinary. War's Shadow and Revival, 1938-1950. The early tournaments saw Italy dominate, winning in 1934 and 1938, a period overshadowed by rising political tensions across Europe. Then came World War II, bringing the burgeoning tournament to a grinding halt. The Jules Rimet trophy itself had to be hidden in a shoebox under a bed by an Italian football official to prevent it from falling into Nazi hands. When the World Cup finally returned in 1950, it did so with a vengeance in Brazil, a nation already obsessed with football. They built the colossal Maracana Stadium, expecting to crown themselves champions. The final match against Uruguay was not technically a final but the deciding game of a round-robin group. Brazil only needed a draw. In front of an estimated 200,000 stunned fans, Uruguay pulled off the greatest upset in World Cup history, winning 2-1. This Maracanazo remains a national trauma for Brazil, a stark reminder that even on home turf, glory is never guaranteed. The rise of a legend, Pelé, in Brazil 1958-1970. The post-war era ushered in the golden age of Brazilian football, spearheaded by a young prodigy named Pelé. In 1958, at just 17 years old, Pelé burst onto the scene in Sweden, scoring a hat trick in the semi-final and two stunning goals in the final against the hosts. Brazil won their first World Cup, showcasing a revolutionary style of jogo bonito, the beautiful game. Pelé, despite injuries, was part of the 1962 triumph as well, and by 1970, in Mexico, he led what many consider the greatest team of all time. The 1970 Brazil squad, with Pelé, Jairzinho, Rivellino, and Tostão, played an attacking, free-flowing football that mesmerized the world, culminating in a spectacular 4-1 victory over Italy in the final. This third title meant Brazil permanently kept the Jules Rimet trophy, cementing their status as football royalty and Pelé as the undisputed king. But what happened next, involving a stolen trophy and an unlikely hero, truly defined the spirit of the tournament. The Stolen Trophy and the Dog, 1966. Before Brazil could permanently claim the Jules Rimet Trophy, a bizarre incident unfolded in England, the host nation for the 1966 World Cup. Just 4 months before the tournament, the trophy, on public display at a stamp exhibition in London, was stolen. The theft sent shockwaves across the globe, sparking a massive police hunt and national embarrassment. For 7 agonizing days, the fate of the World Cup seemed uncertain. Then, a hero emerged from the most unlikely of places, a small black and white mongrel dog named Pickles. While out for a walk with his owner, David Corbett, Pickles sniffed out a package wrapped in newspaper near a garden hedge in South London. Inside, to everyone's amazement, was the missing Jules Rimet trophy. Pickles became an instant celebrity, saving the tournament and securing his place in World Cup folklore, just before England went on to win their only World Cup title in a controversial final against West Germany. Total Football and Political Shadows, 1970–1978. The 1970s brought new tactical innovations and political undertones to the World Cup stage. In 1974, West Germany hosted and won the tournament, but it was the Netherlands, led by the revolutionary Johan Cruyff and their total football philosophy, that captured the imagination. Their fluid, interchangeable positions and relentless attacking style transformed the game, even though they ultimately lost to the Germans in the final. 4 years later, in 1978, the World Cup went to Argentina, a nation under a military junta. The tournament was plagued by accusations of match-fixing and political manipulation, particularly regarding Argentina's controversial 6-0 victory over Peru, which allowed them to progress to the final ahead of Brazil. Argentina went on to defeat the Netherlands in a tense final, securing their first World Cup amidst a cloud of suspicion and intense national fervor. The World Cup was proving to be more than just a game. It was a reflection of the world's complex realities. Hand of God and Maradona's Genius, 1986. The 1986 World Cup in Mexico is synonymous with one name, Diego Maradona. The Argentine maestro delivered arguably the most dominant individual performance in World Cup history. His quarterfinal match against England became legendary for 2 contrasting goals. The first, the infamous Hand of God, saw Maradona intentionally punch the ball into the net, a moment of audacious deception that the referee missed. Just 4 minutes later, he scored what is widely considered the goal of the century, dribbling past 5 English players from his own half before slotting it home. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated genius, showcasing both his cunning and his unparalleled skill. Maradona almost single-handedly carried Argentina to their second World Cup title, cementing his place as one of football's most iconic and controversial figures. Yet just 4 years later, a different kind of drama unfolded, proving that even the greatest heroes can face their darkest hour. The story of Italy 1990 will astound you. The penalty Heartbreak and Redemption, 1994–1998. The 1994 World Cup in the USA culminated in a final between Brazil and Italy, the first to be decided by a penalty shootout. The enduring image of that tournament remains Roberto Baggio, Italy's divine ponytail, blasting his decisive penalty over the bar, handing Brazil their 4th title. It was a moment of crushing heartbreak for a player who had almost single-handedly dragged Italy to the final. 4 years later, in 1998, France hosted and won their first World Cup, with Zinedine Zidane becoming the national hero. Zidane, who had been sent off earlier in the tournament, returned to score 2 towering headers in the final against a heavily favored Brazil, leading France to a memorable 3-0 victory on home soil. These tournaments showed the incredible highs and devastating lows that define the World Cup, where heroes are made and hearts are broken in the blink of an eye. Asian Debut and Brazilian Brilliance, 2002. The new millennium brought the World Cup to Asia for the first time, co-hosted by South Korea and Japan in 2002. This tournament was notable for its stunning upsets, with co-hosts South Korea making a miraculous run to the semifinals, defeating Italy and Spain along the way amidst controversial refereeing decisions. But the story of 2002 truly belonged to Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima, O Fenomeno. 4 years earlier, in the 1998 final, Ronaldo had suffered a mysterious pre-match fit, performing far below his usual standards. Many believed his career was over due to severe knee injuries. Yet in 2002, with a distinctive new haircut, Ronaldo staged an incredible comeback, scoring 8 goals, including both in the final against Germany, to lead Brazil to an unprecedented 5th World Cup title. It was a story of redemption, resilience, and pure footballing brilliance, proving that true legends always find a way to shine. The Underdogs and the Vuvuzelas, 2010. In 2010, the World Cup made history again, landing on African soil for the first time, hosted by South Africa. The tournament was unforgettable for the incessant, buzzing sound of the vuvuzela, a plastic horn that became its controversial soundtrack. On the pitch, it was a tournament of surprises, with giants like Italy and France crashing out in the group stages, and Ghana almost becoming the first African semi-finalist, only to be denied by a last-minute handball and penalty miss. Ultimately, the glory went to Spain, who, with their mesmerizing tiki-taka style of play, dominated possession and suffocated opponents. They defeated the Netherlands in a tense, often physical final, with Andrés Iniesta scoring the winning goal in extra time. It marked Spain's first-ever World Cup triumph, cementing a golden era for Spanish football. But amidst all the celebrations and iconic moments, the World Cup has also been home to some truly bizarre occurrences that defy all logic. The most incredible one is still ahead: German Machine and Messi's quest, 2014-2018. The 2014 World Cup in Brazil was supposed to be a coronation for the host nation, but it turned into an unimaginable nightmare. In one of the most shocking results in World Cup history, Germany annihilated Brazil 7-1 in the semi-final, a humiliation that still haunts the nation. Germany went on to win the final against Argentina, denying Lionel Messi his first World Cup title in a heartbreaking extra-time defeat. 4 years later, in Russia 2018, France, led by a young Kylian Mbappé and Antoine Griezmann, showcased a blend of speed, skill, and tactical prowess to win their second World Cup, defeating Croatia in an entertaining final. Messi, still searching for that elusive World Cup, saw his Argentine team knocked out by France in a thrilling last 16 encounter. The stage was set for an epic conclusion to his career, but would he ever achieve the ultimate glory? Climax, the ultimate showdown, 2022. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar delivered a final that transcended sport, a clash of titans that will forever be etched in history. It was Lionel Messi's last dance, his final chance to claim the one trophy that had eluded him, cementing his legacy as the greatest of all time. Standing in his way was Kylian Mbappé, the heir apparent, leading a formidable French side. The final itself was an absolute roller coaster. Argentina raced to a 2-0 lead, seemingly cruising to victory, only for Mbappé to score 2 goals in 97 seconds, bringing France roaring back. Extra time saw Messi score again, but Mbappé completed his hat-trick from the penalty spot, making him only the second player ever to score 3 goals in a World Cup final. The game went to penalties, a nerve-wracking showdown that saw Argentina emerge victorious. Messi finally lifted the World Cup trophy, a moment of pure, unadulterated joy for millions around the globe, an emotional crescendo to an unparalleled career. It was a final that had everything: drama, skill, heartbreak, and ultimately, the coronation of a legend, proving that sometimes the greatest stories have the most perfect endings. Call to action. The FIFA World Cup is more than just a football tournament. It's a testament to human spirit, a stage for the impossible, and a source of shared global memories. If these stories of passion and perseverance captivated you, hit that subscribe button to uncover more incredible histories.